The next guy we're going to look at in the story of what God was doing through Jesus' birth is a guy by the name of Zechariah. Zechariah was John the Baptist's father, and John the Baptist was vital in being being the forerunner of Jesus and showing God's people that Jesus, the Messiah, was coming. But the backstory to Zechariah is that God had gone silent for 400 years. And really 400 years is just a bracket on a timeline for us. That in the timeline of the world's history, 400 years is just a small little sliver. No matter how old you think the world is, it's just a tiny little sliver. But if we think about it in the history of America, if we go back 400 years from now, 2013, America, as we know it, wasn't even formed and was really just the very, very, very beginnings, really kind of a zygote of a country. I mean, that's unfathomable that God would go silent for that long. And God shows up through an angel in Zechariah's life and speaks to Zechariah saying, you're going to have this kid. And Zechariah and his wife were barren, but on top of that, they were too old to have kids, even if they could. And Zechariah stood in unbelief of that, and God, through this angel, quieted Zechariah's tongue for 9 months. But when Zechariah acted in faith and named this kid John, God opened up his tongue again. And the first thing he said was actually a prayer of praise of what God was doing. And really, I see 2 stanzas in this prayer of praise, or this song of praise. The first stanza talks about how God is active in redeeming his people and bringing them salvation. And the second stanza is about how even though it doesn't look like God is active, that he is actively preparing his people for this salvation. What does God want to say to you about what he wants to do in your life? Is that he is actively redeeming and saving you. No matter if you've trusted in that or not, whether you're on the backside of trusting that, he is actively redeeming and saving you. And the second of that is that even if you might not see that, even if you might be in a kind of a valley of the shadow of death, as David wrote, that God is active in preparing the way for that. That even if it doesn't look like he's active, he is. This is what God wants to do through your life. Is that he wants to actively redeem and save you, and that he is preparing that no matter what it looks like right now.